Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful, unique individual. Today, I would like to speak about a little fun topic, but at the same time, it is a little strange. But hear me out on this. In the future, I have told earlier, I thoroughly, truly follow the apocalypse, and it is for the future that we are to cultivate certain faculties, certain personality, or personality in general, and consciousness. In the future, if you have not cultivated with your own freedom and on your own choice, personality, individuality, and your own soul spirit within your individuality, you will get eaten up by the group soul. You already see this today to a high degree. The group soul of mankind is highly, highly asleep right now. And I can tell you immediately, the group soul does not like individuals. The group soul wants that comfort, that hazy mist that is around it, that is hypnotizing in a sense. The individual is spoiling that because the individual asks questions based on what comes from the heart, what comes from morals. When we see something that is not working anymore, we want to take care of it and to heal it as best as possible. Maybe replace it with something that is, much more uplifting and in advancement for mankind in general. But I digress. We have been group souls in earlier times. In Lemurian times, we were group souls, and they were symbolized by the cherubic spirits, the man, eagle, bull, lion. That was the group ego of mankind before we individualized to a more, single unit for all of us. We will come back to that, but you will be absorbed into a group soul that is not very, very healing. You see, we are meant to come out of the group soul. We are not meant to fall back into it, to digress into a mass of animals. We are meant to individually awaken so we can all participate towards a common goal in freedom, in love, in God, in the Christ. The principle of the Christ, at least. Philadelphia, brotherly and sisterly sibling love for all of mankind through choice. People will, or souls will fall away, those that refuse. There are very few of them, we know so. But they will fall away to the 8th sphere when the Vulcan stage has been reached, and that is far eons in the future, of course. But they will fall away to the dross of the earth. What is called hell, more or less, the 8th sphere, is the best way to describe it is, you see, the sun, moon and earth were united at the time. And we were in that united state cycling around the zodiacs, and we didn't have time in that regard. We didn't have time in the same sense we have today, since we have heavenly bodies separate from the earth. We were all united. And then the sun separated from the moon earth. And if the moon hadn't separated, first, if we didn't separate from the sun, we would end up as moral automatons, automatically constantly upwards without freedom, obviously. We don't know, since we only have up and not down, we don't know the duality of it. So the sun separated so that, we could unfold by ourselves to certain degrees. If the moon had been kept united with the earth, the moon would dry up the earth, and we will all become mummies. You see here. So the moon separated out, which is the sphere of the ancient masters and the angels. Now, the thing is, there will be another sphere separating from the earth again. This sphere will be, I'm sorry to say it, the trash sphere or the garbage sphere. The corpse of what couldn't be spiritualized. That is what I mean. By you in freedom cultivating your own individuality, personality, love and care for yourself and, well, directing it towards helping all of mankind. It has to be directed that way. You are part of unfolding the future of mankind. We will unite with the sun again. But what can't unite with the sun? The evil part in us. The part that is so thoroughly rascal and so thoroughly immoral that it can't come with us. It will happen. We will shed that like snakeskin. And that will become living beings. Because what we shed has to, well, become something. And the genesis of the universe is so marvelously complex, it's kind of amazing. But you see, we have been united with the first we were just heat. Different states of heat. The heat were worked upon by other beings, condensing it down and also combusting at the same time. So it became gaseous, airy. And through the gaseous area it starts to combust. When it combusts, it produces smoke. This smoke is symbolized for the physical manifestation of reality. You see, physical reality and heat is the sacrifice, the burning, the smoke of the thrones of the first hierarchy. Sacrifice to the cherubim, and cherubim is creating time with it, the archai. It is so complex, but it is a picture nonetheless. The archai is a stage above archangels, by the way. They are the prime beginnings, the spirits of personality or spirits of time. So once the archai came to being, time came to being. It has been duration before, but we haven't been able to calculate the time since we didn't have heavenly bodies. We only felt the duration. It is really fun. It's so sublime thoughts that is put into perspective here, but everything is alive in the universe. There is nothing that occurs by itself, no matter how much the materialists want that to be a reality. Will is a thing. Universe has a will. And where there's a will, there's a way. So, please don't try to convince yourself that something can just occur by itself. It has never happened, you will never experience it, you will never witness it as a truth. So please don't. Everything has purpose, everything has will. So it is truly about how much can you tap into this reality, and the spiritual hierarchy beyond and behind and within the physical kingdom. Do not see it only as dead shapes, colors, forms and movements. But where you see movement, you see will and you see beings. Where you see physical forms, you see spiritual forms. And you can even see them cooperating with each other based on different densities of substances, but also in how things changes from air, condensing air, let's see here, vaporizing water up. So when it becomes cold, it condenses it in until it becomes physical again. And all of this, none of these things can happen without beings behind them. It can't be just cold nothing. It is just such an abstract concept to me, and it can be used for anything. It can't be used for anything other than destruction. It is also a comfort to have a ready-made, done, digested, finished worldview to look at. But the universe and the world is alive. And you can't have a final made pamphlet of truths that you have in the back of your mind. It is a constant interaction, you see. That is the fun. And the fun is to find out. The fun is to truly build those building blocks for everyone. And when you do it for yourself, you are an example. You do it for everyone. You do not step on others' toes, you do it for everyone. Of course, you do not stand for immorality and bullying, obviously. We stand for straight upness, and we know that that is where power, true love comes from. Anyone can come here and try to argue with you and say that we're only blah blah blah, we're only physical animals and blah blah. Sure, tell yourself whatever you like, however you wish to see yourself, do it. But don't drag me into it, because you see, I have a different way of living. And based on my deeds, based on my feelings, based on my thoughts, I know that there are different ways of living. So what you're telling me is just your own opinion in the end. You see? Of course, this is about finding out. And not take anyone's word for it. Of course, you need to trust somewhere in the start. To me, I was lucky that when I studied through hours upon hours upon hours of many different scriptures and psychologies, philosophies, anything. When I came to the one, it felt like everything I'd been studied till before I found that specific person, Rudolf Steiner. It felt like everything I'd been doing until before then was preparing myself to study him. It was kind of amazing. Everything was set up from start. And I just love having faith and trust. I trusted his teachings. I trust his teachings. And because of it, I can see what he is trying to explain to me. But because of that, I have a live, living, divine universe. And wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want a loving... Of course, if you have done a whole lot of immoral stuff behind your own back, more or less. And what if there is a God then? What if the consequences, the results of the deeds? You see, there are many that doesn't want to reconcile with that. Understandable. Because reckoning is a thing. There is truly about living right. Sincere living, sincere exploring. And as I said earlier, we have come from sublime heat, condensed to gas, condensed to water, and down to earth, to the mineral world. And we have been lighter than this, we have been more fluidic, and we have also been more airy. And only heat. We have been in those stages. And we have chosen for ourselves, through karma, to come down further and further and further, until we have now reached a pinnacle of going down. So now we are to spiritualize everything up again. You see? But by our own freedom and our own power and our own consciousness. Yes, we can ask the divine realms for help, but they don't manifest physically to come and aid us. They never will again. Believe me. The Christ came once in physical form. If he would come again, then it would be like imagining a scale with two beams. It can't go anywhere when it's two center realities of humankind. You can't have that. He is united with the spiritual, the spirit of the earth. He is here in the etheric, in the life force of the earth. He is the earth. And he is always here, even till the ends of the earthtime. Not yet I, but the Christ liveth and worketh in me. It's my mantras. They are reminders. And reminding yourself constantly is also immersing yourself, feeding yourself that, oh, I became aware for a moment. To not lose yourself to unconsciousness, to dreaming and to hypnotism, to be hypnotized. So yeah, now this video was only to describe to you the group soul and a few areas of the spiritual world that can only be perceived of through concepts, through pictures. But as you can see here from the start, the heat substance came from the first hierarchy, sacrificed from their own being. So highly evolved are they that they can sacrifice substance from their own being to create reality with. That is some sublime stuff. I love it, and I love the pictures. And of course, condensing down, then we come to the second hierarchy, and then the spirits of movement and form and wisdom are starting to work within that. And then we come to the archai, prime beginnings, and the archangels, the sons of fire, and the angels, the messengers. And now us. We have 9 links, and we are the 10th right now. We are to be the 10th. Of course, we are not even close, but we are reaching there. So yeah, I just wanted to have a little fun with pictures, concepts, and beings, and inspiration in general. So if you feel that you don't fit in, if you feel that you are unique and individual and just can't seem to find a place in a group of beings, it's because you are not meant to. You are meant to cultivate your own individuality so others can follow you. You are not meant to give in to the group soul. The group soul, believe me, don't always want the best for the individual. They want the best and the easiest for everyone. Matter the cost, you see. But the individual, there is possibility to take care of every individual and the whole at the same time. Seriously, we need to stop this laziness. Being awake and aware and not using a pamphlet, as I said. There is no manuscript for living. Else we would have it and we would live by it. And we probably wouldn't anyway. If we had a manuscript and knew everything, we would just probably stray from every path we can. We are specific beings like that. But it is amazing. So, feeding yourself with pictures of the hierarchy of the sublime universe and, well, studying and observing, experimenting and exploring, being curious, being wondrous, and in awe, being awe-inspired by all of these pictures. When you fill yourself with it, devotion, reverence, faith, you truly, it is worth living. Life, you feel it's worth waking up and you feel it's worth living. You don't force yourself up in the morning, but oh, another day. No, another day. Amazing, another day. Let's see what happens. Thank you, everyone. I love you so much. I just wanted to go a little banana, but you know, it's fun sometimes. I know I am always within a certain framework anyways, and I do not wish people astray. I wish people to truly come to understand themselves as human beings, come to understand you. And I truly wish the best for you as an individual, and that you also wish the best for other individuals. And fight against this more or less forceful group soul that we are, that many people are shackled to today. By awakening up and becoming aware of oneself, you become a shining light in that dark, misty group soul. And of course the group soul will, turn off the light. The light, the sunlight, it burns. That's the picture. Don't be eaten by the group soul. Don't get overwhelmed by the world. And don't lose yourself away either. Be an individual participating in the world as best as you can with the strength that you have, with the abilities you have. And there you will find what you're looking for. Trust, faith, love, hope for mankind, for the individual, for you. Thank you. Love you all. Love you so much. May you be protected, guided, and blessed by the hierarchy, God, Father, and the Holy Spirit, Christ. Love you all. Goodbye.